Hello friends, today we are going to see how to create this full CG underwater scene in Nuke and Blender. We are going to build the entire scene in Blender, layout and camera angle and then all the renders, and then take it to Nuke and create this cinematic looking scene. So let's get started. Let me open fresh new Blender file. Okay, first thing I'm going to add some blockings to set all the pillars that I want to create in the scene. Let's grab a box. I'm not going to try anything like very special texturing or anything on that. I'm just keeping those as placeholders. Let's start blocking something. I will be placing this box as this. I'm using my second monitor, but most of the time I'm going to spend here. Let's duplicate this. This will be our main columns, and I'm going to take a camera. First I will name as layout, and then take one more folder. Let's name it as camera. I'll take a camera first. Press 0 to camera view. Press N and see it from the camera. Okay, I want it from bottom angle. Okay, let's keep the grid there because anything I drop into the scene that will be on the grid, so it will be easy to location and animate the object. So let's use the grid as our main origin point, and let's take our camera down. I think this is good. I'm going to keep it like that. Before that, I'm going to remove this and set the focal length. I'll keep focal length 24 mm. I think I need to take camera more further near because now I change the focal length. I need to drag camera more towards up. Okay, that's cool. Let's take this down, go to side view and take these both the columns down like this. I like this kind of big structures here on this frame. You don't have to be technically very correct because we're going to create a big city or that is like untold or something, and this is hidden in the ocean. I'm going to duplicate this guy. This is like a rough blocking. I'm just creating random boxes and pillars, like anything that goes well into the scene. I think we need to animate the camera first to see how much area is going to be covered in the animation. I'm going to keep frame to 50. That will be around 10 seconds. I think 10 to 50 is okay. And I will make it to 480 and 850, which is cropped view. Sorry, this it's 850 like this. I think this is good. Let's make it random. Okay, first I will animate the camera here. Take this, go to the settings, put the keys, go to the last frame and just change the rotation. Okay, I'm going to select all the keys, press T and keep it linear. I don't want to keep it on bezier because it will be like easy in and out, which I don't want. I just want it like from start to end, it will be on the same motion. So press A, T and hit linear. Now if you see that, you can see camera is moving on the same speed from first to last frame. I want to make it more towards the horizon at the first frame. Somewhat like this is good. Let's put the keys again. Now I have this camera set here with animation. I have some basic pillars. I will also add ground here. This ground is not going to be seen in the camera, but this is for just the reference, and also it can cast some bounce light if you are adding more lights into the scene. Take this ground out of the camera but keep it in the bottom. Okay, that is fine. Later we can use any ground or anything that can provide some bounce light to the scene. For now we are just keeping the plane. Let's add submarine to the scene. Okay, I think this is good. It's too big at the moment, but it's good. This will be our hero submarine in the scene. If you are adding any more submarines, this will be in the center. I'm planning to show this propeller because this will bring some more life to the scene. It's all in one now. I'm going to separate it by editing it. Edit it, select all and press P, and by loose parts. So you can see it's already separated by all the loose parts, and then you can just animate the part since it's already detached from all those selections. I can select them, press anyone and press Ctrl G, and I'm going to use object set to geometry, so you can just play with the rotation. Okay, now I'm going to select rest of the part of the submarine. I think I need to create a subfolder structure here, so that will be easy for me to select the parts. Let's select all of them, press M, let's call it subs. So now we have the propeller separate and then this one. Let's edit this square part because I don't really like the shape of this. Okay, that's fine. Let's see it from the camera view how it looks. It looks good like this. Let's animate this guy, but before that I'm going to add an empty because I don't want to move it directly, because anytime I use any lights or anything in the submarine or any object I want to connect to this submarine with that animation, it would be easy for me to just parent that element to the empty object. So let's create an empty. Let's select this and connect to this. Control P, object, same, Control P, object. Now if I just select the box or empty object and move it, it will be moving with that. Also can give the rotation, go to the first frame, and I'm going to use -500 and just give a key, select all, keep the linear. Okay, that's good. Also animate the submarine from first to last frame, select the empty, put the keys and go to the camera view and see how that looks. Okay, I don't want to move x-axis, so remove from the x-axis, clear single keyframes, and I also don't want to move any z-axis, so also remove the z-axis. First I will pick a size because this is looking a little small. Put the key there, go to the last frame. Okay, again select all the keys, press T, make it linear, and then see how it looks in the camera. Okay, that looks good. Most of the time we are seeing the submarine and also the pillars, which is really good and cinematic. I feel like we should see propeller for a few more frames. It's going really very fast out of the frame. Let's change the animation or play with the animation. I think submarine speed is good, but camera is moving very fast. Let's play with the camera. Okay, we can keep it like this, so we can also show some objects in the ground or any part of the that hidden city. Let's put the key. This is feeling much better now. Okay, I'm okay with it. Let's play with the adding more object into the scene. This is the basic idea of camera animation and the pillars in the scene. Now let's start adding some stuff. I don't want to add more submarines into the scene. Let's keep it below 4. Let's go to this view and start adding the assets that I have in my asset library. Go to the asset library and then I can find something cool looking objects to add into the scene. First I'll start with this main gate. Let's make the visibility of this plane 2 pounds, so it's good now. Let's also make the visibility of the viewport display of this entire outside of the camera, make it very solid so we can just see the inside the camera. Okay, I might fast forward this because I'm just planning to add some more object into the scene according to these blockings. These are just the placeholders to see how that looks with these objects. Let's, for example, if I just keep this object and make the size bigger and just rotate it in x-axis 180 degrees and then see like this. So I will be just keep adding this stuff and then see how that looks. For example, this kind of objects which looks like a mega structures underwater. Okay, let's go to the lighting view and see how it looks. I already set the skylight, but I'm going to change that. We're not really worried about the textures in this shot because since it's an underwater scene, we are mostly going to see it bluish or cyan or very dark. But still we need some hint into the texture, so I'm keeping the texture as is. Let's play with the displacement and all later, but just keep it as is for now. So this is, I got it from another file. I'll just try to place it in the scene. I think I need to put that in here. So select that object and select this pillar, right click, and then snap to selection to active. So it will go to that object's location. Now we can just delete that old cube by not seeing that in camera, but let's drag it a bit and you can then later you can see it in camera. It's too big, let's scale it down. Okay, quite interesting. I think this submarine is too big at the moment. Let's take it more upward. Since we haven't added any keys in z-axis, we don't need to worry about the keys anymore because we just added key in y-axis. Okay, that's good. Let's take this guy further away from this edge and then duplicate it and see how that looks. If I add one more any structure, I don't want to keep it same angle, just rotate it in 90 degrees in z-axis, and then we can see other face of the block. Okay, let's make the layering first. Okay, we don't want this blockings anymore because we already added most of the object above them. We can just remove them from the scene now. I don't want to keep any confusion or any mess in the scene. Now we have camera, we have submarine in the scene, we have floor which is not visible because it's below the camera angle, and then we have pillars. Play with the layout. I think I need to change the focal length because 24 mm is wide but still not enough. I'm going to make it 18 mm. Okay, because I want to read this gate, I want to make this gate look more huge, and more wide angle can make that happen. This is more better now. If I go and check this frame, you can see that just that 24 to 18 gonna change a lot. So let's make it 18, which is good. I also want to use some rock objects to set somewhere here so that we can show that some of those rocks are connected to these pillars and the pillars are standing above the rocks. So I can just bring some of the rocks I have. If you check the texture, they are really good looking ones. Okay, looks quite better. Okay, this space is more empty. Let's add some stuff there too. This pillar looks good on the entry point and the exit point here. Anything like that can make it look huge. Let's use one more submarine into the scene now and see how that looks into the framing. Let's tilt the keys. We don't want to keep any keys to this guy. We really have less space. Let's push this guy this side and this as well. Okay, somewhat like this looks good. That's good. That's really good. Okay, I'm going to go first frame. This has already the rotation on the propeller, so most of the time we're not seeing that because I just want to focus on one propeller in the scene. Let's push this guy towards that side and Q y-axis keys, go to the last frame. That's fine. Select all, press T linear. Okay, that's really good. Since these lines are connecting to each other, I don't like this parallel thing here. I can add some variation to the scene so we don't really read these parallel lines everywhere. Okay, this kind of structures are really good. Also here I just gonna duplicate this already, rotate in z-axis and bring some structures like this. Okay, so we don't, some points are intersecting with this line here, which is really good. I'm trying to add some broken or fallen pillars in the scene, which can be here or here. Let's bring some of the other objects from another file. Now we don't have anything in the background. Let's add one more structure or anything in the background. Just duplicate this guy. Okay, that's really good. Okay, after playing a lot with the layout, I have added more objects like this marine life, the small plants in the scene. If I just select them and see, free, these are like free sketchpad models I downloaded, and I think these are scanned on, not sure. And I also given some animation to that marine life. Select any object, add simple deform, and then give keys, and then you can just animate that just like that. It's very simple one. We don't have to really think about the animation because it's in underwater and it can move like anything, but it should be very subtle, not very fast or jittery. Okay, now let's add some light to the scene. Select this and see how that looks with the camera. Before that, I would like to say that I have added marine life only in the area where camera is reading them more, especially in the foreground area. If I see this, you can see this is only added here. It can give that impression that it's everywhere in the scene, but mostly we are going to read it in the FG. So that's okay if we are just adding it here and nowhere else. Let's now go to the light and see how can we add to light to the scene. First, I don't want this skylight, either I can make it 0. Before adding light, let's create a folder, lights, keep it here, and see which light can go well to the scene. Select the folder, go to the light. I'm going to use area light. We don't want any harsh light in the scene, we want diffuse light, so I think area light would do really good. Let's keep it higher somewhere here. First, not visible. Go high enough in the scene and make it much more bigger. And I will use the intensity around something like this. Even this intensity is less because the shot is big and light is too broad. If I make the light smaller, you can see that then it will go more intense, but we don't want that. We want very wide or spreaded light here, because what we are showing is light is scattering from the sea surface. Mostly shot will be dark, but since we are creating cinematic scene, we're assuming that we can assume that something is happening there in that hidden city, and we can see some light sources, but mostly light is coming from outside or somewhere, and we can create some cloudy looking scene as well in this underwater and add some more element to give that impression that this place is not like a normal place. So we can just play and see how that looks, but before that, just give more intensity to this light and see how that looks. I'll make it 15. Even that is too less. I'll make it 100. Okay, that is much better, but it's too bright. Let's make it 50. Okay, I think this is good. Let's give a slight rotation to the light. Okay, now I don't want to work much on light, but I'll create a fog box and see how, because we're creating underwater scene, I'm going to create a fog box. So for that, we have two options to do that. One, I can just go to the shading, go to the world and remove this and select any principle or volume, right? I'm going to use this and just plug it here. Now it's too dark because the density is too high. Make it 0.005. Okay, we are reading something there. Let's make this anisotropy. I can't really read that. Let's go make it higher. I think this is still too high. Okay, make it 0.5 here. This is much better. So we can add in this way and give any color that you want. I can give this kind of color. It's good. Let's make the density. Okay, it's too dense. Let's just keep play with those values and you can get a desired. Okay, now I think I can keep this value 0.5 here and increase the intensity a bit more. Okay, that is good. I'll just get this point lower. Okay, this is much better. I'll also add one more light to the scene so we can read from another angle, and we'll keep this light to bigger. Okay, this is good. Also check the mist. Let's go to the mist view. Let's adjust the mist values so we can see the depth. Okay, first we need to select the layers mist and then go to this mist world. You can see it here. I'll make it 0 at this point and make it around 500. Okay, so this is the depth value. Much better. I'll make it 1000. Okay, so this will be our mist. I think I need to do some quick renders to see how that looks with very low rays quality. The good thing is that we can read some of these plants in the FG, which is really important for my scene. And I think I need to add some more lights from the submarine, like spotlight or something that can give the impression that submarine is searching or something. Since it is underwater scene, we can add some particles or marine snow, we can call. We can add lot of stuffs in the water, but before that just add a spotlight and see how that looks. For that I will just go to one more folder, make sublight. I'll take a spotlight here, going to keep it somewhere here. We really don't need to worry about this because spotlight is going to bloom the shot and we're not going to see the source point because of the haze and all. It's going to give the hint of light rays. Before doing anything, I will just connect this light to this empty object, Control P and object, because if I play it's moving well. Okay, that's good. Now go to the intensity, make it same, give higher values, it's too less. Okay, now we are not seeing anything because our submarine is here, so I'm going to use the light to change its direction. For this submarine, I'm going to use this as a light source point. That's reading really well, but the radius and the spot size is too big, so I'm going to play with that. Let's make it 15. Now that's good. We can see the rays as well. We can keep it in separate folder because we are going to take separate renders, so we can have more control in compositing. So this is good. I think this light is really good. I'm going to lock this here on this frame and go to this and just give some basic animation to this light, like it's searching or something. I'm going to go to the last frame. It's like you can keep playing and see which one looks good. Okay, cool. I can do the same thing to this submarine as well. You can add lights, but I think the sky is reading too bright here. Let's make the light smaller. It's too big and bright. You can keep playing with these lights or spend some time and see how that looks. Okay, I think I'm not going to use this because it's very hard to see the scene, and I'm going to remove this, and I'm going to use my asset library fogbox, which is just normal fogbox. You can just create it very simply, like adding. I'll show you how I made that. So this is like, just take a box and go to this shader and see which I have added. Well, I should go to the object. I just added a principal volume to the volume and I kept the density tool less, and for the colors you can just give some like very touch of blue or anything. The color is already given here and you can see it from here. I think this is much controllable for me. Anytime I rotate and see, it's good for me to see zoom in, zoom out or anything. This is good. I'm going to use fogbox. Okay, I'm going to add spotlight to submarine and also add some more lights or anything that can make shot looks good. Go to first frame and see first and then proceed. Okay, this is good. Spotlight color is not good at this moment. I'm going to use the spotlight color somewhere like this. Okay, that's good. Okay, so I have added spotlight to that background submarine as well, and also I added one more submarine to the scene. You see this, there is one more submarine. I just added some more objects like this background objects. I changed the orientation of them. Also I did this horse like structure. I duplicate that and just hold out that object. Like if I just move this box, and you can see it's just a hold out. And then I made some changes on the animation of the spotlight. On this frame it's less, and if I just go further it will feel like we're searching something here. So we can also read some marine life. We can start getting the renders. I'll take render one by one. For example, if I go to the lighting view and see, I'll be using renders like, okay, first I'll be using this pillar layer. So in this pillar, all the objects will be there in that layer, and second layer will be my submarines. Turn off it and turn on the submarine. It will be a submarine. And third, so if I just turn off, so it will be just like this. So depends on what kind of fog I want. If I don't want this last spotlight, submarine spotlight in the fog, I can just turn off that spotlight, and then I can just get this purely. Okay, so that's it guys for the from layout and lighting. Now I'm going to add some propeller bubbles and more bubbles in the scene or any marine life debris or dust.